What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I'm bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. And this time we're discussing the new update 1.3 patch that just went live today on PC and is expected to roll out on the PS4 and Xbox One later this week. So in this video, I'll give you a general overview, hitting the high points, the most important new features introduced in the patch, as well as the most widespread fixes for the game. If you're one of those people who'd rather just read the notes for yourself or in more detail, you're looking for a specific fix, I totally understand. I've left that link in the description below to the patch notes for your convenience. First, let's take a look at the new features introduced in this update for the game. And I've kind of divided it into two sections. One is for all of the versions. All the versions have these things. And then the second is for PC only because there is a distinct difference. So on all versions of the game, we've got a new status menu for settlers, which is something a lot of people have been wondering about. How can I track these certain things for my settlers? Where are they working? And all of those things. And so finally, we have a menu and interface to look at those things, and it's very nice and helpful. Additionally, they added rotation controls for controllers. And I put this in all versions because I believe you can just stick a controller. There is controller support for Fallout 4 on PC, so this should work for the PC version as well. So basically, you have an ability to rotate the object that you're holding in workshop mode by using both triggers and then the left thumbstick, and that'll allow you to switch the rotating axis and really kind of manipulate and get things positioned exactly how you want them to in workshop mode, which is nice. Moving on to new features for just the PC version of the game, we've got some new graphical settings and effects. So for example, we've got the ambient occlusion setting HBAO+. And I'm not going to get into this because I'm not really an expert on PC settings, although I do play the game on PC and record on PC. And additionally, we have new weapon debris effects on PC NVIDIA cards. So if you got a beefier system, you can, turn these things on and they will, make things look prettier for you. They've also improved the ESDF remapping in workshop mode functionality. So this is nice because the vanilla controls for workshop on PC are awful. So they're adding some additional functionality here, which is, just helpful. Now we're looking at gameplay fixes. And again, I tried to hit the high points. If you want a full list of these, there's a lot more in the link below. So they obviously do general improvements. That's pretty much something they're going to say on every single one of their updates. So memory improvements, stability, those sorts of things. They fixed a companion radiation poisoning problem where your companion gets stuck with radiation poisoning. So that's obviously an issue. They have fixed that as well. They also fixed big leagues. Finally, you can go ahead and get rank 5 of big leagues and not worry whether it's working or not. I think the general consensus was that it was working, but it was just displaying things improperly. It does work now and it displays properly, so big leagues rank 5 will work for you now. They fixed a subtitle issue where the subtitles would not sync or update properly. This was the biggest problem when you were first meeting Preston. None of those subtitles seemed to work properly. Those should be fixed now with this new update. McCready's companion perk, Kill Shot, now properly calculates headshot accuracy. So this was something a lot of people were exploiting, and it was fantastic. You would get 95% headshot accuracy from any range if you had this perk. That is gone, so that is fixed. Unfortunately, we can't exploit that anymore. Bethesda also fixed problems with NPCs getting stuck in their power armor. So if you would give power armor to a companion, for example, they would never get out of it, or you would leave it and then a settler would jump inside of it and you would never get that back. They have fixed that problem now, so that's not something we have to deal with anymore. They've also made 2 more perk fixes. First is rank 2 of Aquaboy was not calculating properly. That has now been resolved, so you don't have to worry about that. And now Robotics Expert is usable in combat. That was just a broken perk, not even worth taking before this point. Now it is worth taking with this new update patch, and so now you can effectively use this in your builds. The last gameplay fix worth noting is Curie can now receive stim packs after her side quest. So I don't want to spoil anything, but Curie goes through a transformation process, and after that you weren't able to give her stim packs. Now you are able to give her stim packs, which is nice, especially if you went through that quest and decided to play any more of the game. That was probably frustrating. Now that is fixed. On to Quest Fix, and there were a ton of these in the update in the notes, so if you want to check those out, there's a lot longer list, but these are the high points once again. So there was an issue with synths attacking the castle, even though you were friendly with the Institute. That's been resolved. You won't have to worry about that if you go with the Minutemen to the castle and still are friendly with the Institute. No more of that. They also fixed a problem with Dogmeat getting stuck at Fort Hagen after doing the Reunion's main quest. So if you're wondering where Dogmeat is after a certain point in the main story, that was probably the problem, and they have addressed that. For the quest Underground Undercover, which is a railroad mission, you couldn't talk to Desdemona after completing that. That has been fixed. Now you will be able to talk to her if you encountered that problem. This next one is a little spoilery, so here's your fair warning. Don't listen to this if you haven't played through the end of the game, but for the quest, The End of the Line, they fixed an issue that would prevent the player from killing the leaders of the railroad, and so that was clearly an issue for people that were trying to go with a certain side. They have fixed that now. You will be able to kill them. Bethesda fixed a Minutemen Radiant quest issue where it was giving out quests improperly for Preston, which, you know, everyone does not like Preston, or most people don't like Preston, but unfortunately we still have to listen to, you know, General, here's something you should take a look at, or whatever phrase he uses constantly. I'm sure I'm going to read this in the comments, but it's fixed now. He's not going to give you repeat quests, like one quest after another. It's going to be the right quest now. They also addressed the Confidence Man side quest for Trevor in Diamond City. I was under the impression that that was actually solved with the last patch, at least it was for me, but they do cite it in this patch. You can now kill the 2 enemies at the end of that side quest in order to complete it successfully. The last notable quest fix that I found was for Human Error, which is a side quest for the Covenant, which is a location in the game, and this really affected me on my first playthrough. I could not even touch this quest. They fixed it to where if Honest Dan is killed, it's not going to affect the quest, it's going to keep going, which is nice. The final section of the patch notes concerns workshop fixes, which there were many for them to address, and they did address a lot of things. So first off, they addressed incorrect settler counts on your indicator on the HUD. So there was a problem where it would appear incorrectly. They have resolved that, so what you're seeing on the HUD is what you actually have in your settlement finally. Also, if you had a high settlement population, there would be an issue where you couldn't set up a supply line, which is pretty stupid. So they have addressed that as well. Also, snapping objects when you're in build mode, in workshop mode, is now easier. So they have kind of addressed some of the funky ways you would snap things. I know on PC and on console as well, people would develop methods for, you know, accurately snapping things in places where they wanted them to be. Now this should be better and more functional and easier for you to use without using, you know, those other methods. Additionally, they had a problem with powering up objects. Like you would disconnect the wire between, you know, a generator and a light, for example, and then reconnect it and the light wouldn't work. Now that's not going to happen anymore. Bethesda added a workbench in the home plate, which is a location, a settlement that you can have in Diamond City. So now you can actually go in that workbench and do certain things in there, which is nice. They also removed the requirement for copper in wires, which is just kind of a nice thing to do. You know, it's like that was kind of an annoying requirement in order to go along with your settlement building. Copper is not exactly, you know, abundant all across the map. It's nice that they, you know, went ahead and went out with that. No more copper for wires when you're trying to connect things with generators and whatnot. Lastly, they fixed issues with settlement attack generation and also the happiness calculation. So if you're trying to go for that really tough achievement where you have, you know, a certain amount of settlers and the maximum amount of happiness, that should be easier now. And I'm probably going to make a guide on that now that that should be fixed. Additionally, there would be problems where you wouldn't get attacked or you get attacked too much. I know personally in all of my Fallout 4 games that I've actually played beyond like 20 hours and really, you know, beefed out my settlement, I don't know what that means. I would not get attacked. I would not get attacked by anything very often at all whatsoever. So that was weird. They have fixed that now, so you will experience those attacks now. So that's all I have for you guys. That was all of the fixes and features worth noting, at least in my opinion. Again, there's a full list in the link in the description below. So I'd like to know, what do you think about this patch? Did this patch fix anything that, you know, directly affected you in your game? And also, what would you like to see in a future patch? Is there still an issue that they haven't addressed yet that's really just annoying you with this game? I'm sure there are plenty of things you guys can come up with since there's so many of you. You know, we've got an active community here. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Share all of that in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared my thoughts on the Update 1.3 patch notes for Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more unique weapon guides, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.